Hey guys, welcome back to the Bro and the Pro podcast, where we hope to help you reach your full potential, whether that be inside or outside the gym. I'm your main host, Jeremy So, self-proclaimed gym bro, and I'm joined today with the Nicole Tan IFBB Pro.
Happy New Year, guys.
Yes, Happy New Year, Merry Christmas to you guys. Hopefully you guys had an amazing festive season. I don't really like calling it a silly season, right? I feel like it's almost an excuse for people to just be silly. But, you know, it only happens one time of the year. I think enjoy yourself and get back on track.
Not gonna lie, I've been pretty silly this silly season, so I'm really excited to get back on track as well.
I guess, obviously, we were both away 2 weeks without training. That was an interesting 2 weeks of no training. It almost does feel a little bit different, but surprisingly, I came back 1 kilo lighter. Nicole really hates me for this.
My weight sort of kind of stayed the same for the first couple of days, but now I'm up probably like a kilo, so I only gained a kilo during the trip, although I do think my body recomped in the opposite direction, so I lost a little bit of muscle and gained a little bit more fat, probably gained about 2 kilos of fat if I'm completely honest.
But what do we have that most people don't? And that is the ability to jump back on track.
Those habits and behaviors, as Jeremy liked to say.
Yeah, she's giving me shit for it, but honestly, it really is. And so today I wanted to talk because we are running a 12-week challenge soon. Oh gosh, a 12-week challenge again. People don't like talking about this, and some people may think that it's a good thing for most people.
I think it really depends on how people look at it, because some people think of a 12-week challenge as only those 12 weeks. And then some people, some coaches, I guess, in order to make their clients happy to get the best results they can in 12 weeks, result to quite extreme kind of like measures. Even for us, for a comp prep in the past, it's always like that magical number, 12 weeks, 12-week prep. But now as we've gone, with more years of experience and things, we know that 12 weeks is just not quite enough to be really able to achieve everything you want and more.
Yeah, that brings me back to those days where I did 12-week preps. It's very normal to go hard for 12 weeks, hours of cardio, low food very quickly early on just to get shredded. And I found that the ability when you jump back on, like when you rebound, it's going to be like a double-edged sword. If you don't properly reverse diet or recovery diet, you're going to gain a lot of weight back, more than you've taken off. Like if anything, you'll probably gain new fat cells. And now there's obviously evidence-based research to suggest that, you are going to develop more fat cells, and this is detrimental for future weight loss progress.
Yeah, so we definitely don't want people to be bouncing back and being in a worse position than they were prior to when they started if they don't actually, continue past the 12 weeks with the good habits and behaviors that they've built in 12 weeks, and they just go back to eating what they were before, or more than that even, because obviously they're going to be feeling hungrier than ever before, as we all have experienced in a comp prep from 12 weeks of super restriction, super low calories, super high cardio. If you stop all of that and just go back to doing what you feel like doing, you will probably end up in a worse state than you were in before you started.
Too true. I think one thing that I wanted to talk about the 12-week challenge first is that why is it not for you?
I think it's not for people who only want to do 12 weeks. So even though we set a timeline on it, the 12-week challenge, because obviously we are giving a huge cash prize. For those who don't know, the winner will receive $2,000 cash, which is huge. For me, even as a professional athlete, like I've never gotten... Even when I won my pro card, or like when I used to win amateur shows and stuff like that, I've never gotten $2,000 for my amazing transformation through 12 weeks. So this is a huge motivator for people. And I think the people who will do well in this is if they look at this 12 weeks as more of a 12-week kickstart. And as for people who only look at the 12 weeks as, I'm only going to commit these 12 weeks out of like the 52 weeks of the year. So I'm going to only work hard, only commit, only eat well for this 12 weeks out of the 52 weeks, then this is definitely not for you.
I think that's where we just start things off. I think, yes, if you're not looking beyond the 12 weeks or what you can create in this 12 weeks, then you're not going to last very long. And it's been multiple times. We've run these challenges every single year for the past few years. And the countless times you see people get amazing results and they just, okay, I'm good to go by myself. And then they come back to the next challenge in a worse position than when they started. And it's not a bad thing. I think it's just learning from your past mistakes, right? I think it's how you view these failures and how you overcome them. So obviously them coming back, we open up, we welcome them back. We're not going to say, oh my God, you messed up, like you did terrible. But hopefully we hope that, the client has learned that maybe, you know what, I might need to stay on after these 12 weeks. So just to figure out how to actually come out of this safely and make it more measurable as well. One thing I'd like to mention is that, yes, as you said, 12-week challenges can be very intense. So some people, will go super hard for 12 weeks, eat low calories and stuff like that. But our approach, we don't do it that way. We don't ever see it that way. We just treat it as something that will motivate people to get there. And we're not going to crash diet someone. Like, we don't really view that as something we want to do, unless it's something they want to do. If they come to us, and I usually give people two options. I'll be like, look, we can either go super ham, but just like as a double-edged sword, it can really be detrimental for you after this competition. So if you don't aim to continue on, then you're going to probably gain all that weight back quickly. Or we can do a slower approach where we, prime your body, get your body in a good spot and do a slower approach, which isn't all about just the 12 weeks. And a lot of times our clients in the past, that's how we have approached it. We've done the slower approach and they still are able to lose, 12 kilos in 12 weeks for some of my guys. And even some of the girls. Same thing that some of the females have lost up to 10 to 12 kilos in 12 weeks as well. So, and that's the slower approach though. And it's not the fast approach. People think that it's just a case of we go super ham, we go super hard, and then that's it.
So I'm all about longevity, and so usually the approach coming to these, obviously there's a few factors that play into it. Obviously, us personally as coaches, we have a little obviously competition going amongst each other. We all want our clients to win, so to some extent we do want to push them a little bit harder than we normally would with a regular client. But at the end of the day, for us, health and longevity is still more important. So we'd like to help people be able to achieve as much results as they can whilst doing as the minimum required amount. We really, really don't believe in going too hard too soon. Even though there is a lot on the line for the challenge, obviously our clients want to win, they want that money. And as coaches, we want to beat each other. And so we have our own little competition going amongst ourselves as well. So we want to do well. We want our clients to do well. We want that amazing before and after photos, but we won't risk our clients' long-term health and well-being just for this.
Yeah, 100%. I to be honest, I haven't been one to see competition amongst the other coaches.
Definitely is competition.
There's competition, but not with myself. I do feel like I always just do what's in the best interest of my client. Whatever is going to get them the most results for the longest period of time, and that they're able to continue getting results even after this 12 weeks. And I think, it's definitely not for you. This challenge is not for you if you aren't ready to commit more than 12 weeks. It's as simple as it gets. The amount of times I've worked with people that keep going back challenge to challenge and have already come back heavier than when they started. And I'm like, yep, you probably should continue on after. And it's not that we're trying to make you stay on, but that's why we try to motivate them that, that this is something they need to consider. Learn from your mistakes. Yes, you know how to cut down. Yes, you get that bit of accountability. You can cut down, you get lean, you get some of that investment in that you're going to lose this weight for 12 weeks, and then 2 months later they're already back up and they're like, oh my God, what have I done wrong? I've just slipped up, I've lost the interest. And I'm like, that's not sustainable in the longest term. So priority is, if you're not ready to commit longer than 12 weeks, probably isn't for you.
I think people who are quite self-motivated can really benefit from this. If, they know that once they get into a good groove and a good routine, they can continue and keep it up on their own, then great. This challenge is a great way to kind of kickstart the year and get them into a good routine, so long as they know they can kind of keep it up. But if you're someone that just struggles with compliance, and you know that if you don't have someone there to hold you accountable, and if you plan to stop after 12 weeks, then yeah, definitely this won't really benefit you to the best that you can. You'll achieve some amazing results in a 12 weeks, but if you know you can't motivate yourself and you know that you need someone, but you know that you're not going to stay on past the 12 weeks, then this is probably not the challenge for you.
And I think, yeah, no, I think you hit the nail on its head. Motivation is important. And so with these 12-week challenges, it's great because there's no sign up fee. It's pretty much just as long as you sign up to online coaching, then you're pretty much in the draw to go for it. So if you are thinking on the fence, thinking about, oh, maybe I should do this, maybe I should give it a go, why not? There's no actual extra costs to actually registering for the competition. You automatically enter once you sign up to any of our coaches at any rates. So we have like monthly, weekly, and fortnightly packages that literally can fit all budgets from as low as $50. So don't see why someone shouldn't. But unless you don't, another thing, if you don't have the funds to spend at least $50 on your health and fitness, probably isn't for you as well.
But you may win $2,000.
Correct. So if you believe you can win, then yes, this challenge is for you. And so let's talk a little about why the challenge is for someone.
Yeah, so the main reason why we brought the challenge around is to just offer people a little bit of extra motivations, including our existing clients. So obviously we want new people to be motivated to like sign up. We want to give them something to look forward to. We want to give them a reason to actually show themselves that they can challenge themselves to commit to something for 12 weeks. Because some people obviously always think like, oh, I want to look this way, but I just don't think that I can commit. Like, I don't think I can follow a meal plan. So this challenge is to kind of like entice and encourage those people to really challenge themselves on an individual level to see if they can actually stick to something, if they can actually just, get into the routine of the weekly check-ins, the weighing yourself daily, the weighing your food, just getting into this routine. So it's a little bit of a personal challenge for people, and the money is there to kind of motivate people, but also it's more to give back to our clients. So a lot of the people who enter the 12-week challenges are already clients of ours, and we want to give them a little bit of extra little oomph to like, I really want to push myself and really be compliant for the next 12 weeks, because we're all about balance. So a lot of times, our clients don't tend to be 100%. And then, when the challenge comes around, it kind of just motivates them to be like, okay, cool. I've been kind of cruising at 70-80% compliance. I've been doing okay, but for the next 12 weeks, I really want to ramp it up. I really want to push myself. I really want to win this money and make my coach proud, all that kind of stuff that comes with the challenge. Then this obviously would really help give them that extra motivation and drive.
Honestly, it'll be crazy not to sign up to this challenge, but we understand, maybe you're not ready. And something I like to talk about is that to be successful in anything. So, a lot of you right now have set some New Year's resolutions, some goals that you have set for yourself. And one thing to always remember that what successful people do is that they get outside their comfort zone. They have this ability to continue doing the stuff that's uncomfortable. And this is what really elicits to great results. And it's, you have to understand that your mind only wants to stay in its comfort zone. The things you want to do repetitively every single day, you want it to stay the same. For you to force new habits, new behaviors, to actually get results, whether that be even financial and business and, work related stuff, you've got to do things outside your comfort zone. It's as simple as it gets. And I think a lot of you right now that are listening, you might be doubtful that you can actually achieve the results you wanted because you doubt that, you don't believe in yourself. And through that, you're not going to succeed. And so it's super important that you focus on doing the stuff that is uncomfortable. So if you want to lose 10 kilos, what do you think is going to get you there? Honestly, think about it right now. What do you think is actually going to get you there? If you can tell yourself, oh, I have to diet, I have to say no to all these events and parties and all these occasions. I need to get up every day and do my cardio and do my training. I got to go learn how to train inside the gym. It could be any level that you're at, but it's going to feel freaking uncomfortable. You're going to feel anxious. You're going to feel anxiety. You're going to have a lot of doubt. You're going to have a lot of scenarios playing in your head that's going to hold you back. So remember, this is going to be uncomfortable, but know that through these times when you get over those uncomfortable situations and the uncomfortable things you don't want to do, it's going to produce you results, no matter how you look at it.
I want to touch on a little bit about that comfort thing that you were talking about. I think a long-term goal for all of us is to make it that someone's comfort is in their regular routine, in training, in eating well, that it's uncomfortable right now, but eventually the more and more you do it, the more and more it's part of your daily life, it's going to be where you actually feel the most comfortable. So again, a good example, since me and Jeremy have just been away not training for 2 weeks, to us that feels a little bit more out of the ordinary for us, as opposed to that's just our regular, because we live a lifestyle where we eat clean most of the time. Obviously we can get a little bit flexible from time to time, but for us to just eat whatever we want for a whole 10 days and not train at all, that is somewhat in the uncomfortable zone for us, is something that we're not normally used to doing. And then when we're back home and back into routine, we don't even have to think or talk about it. It's just like, oh yeah, I'm back home now. I'm going to go back to the gym because that's just part of my life. So that should be your new normal at some point in your life. Obviously, we've been doing this for over 10, 15 years now, I think. So this has been embedded into our lifestyle. I think we'll both just feel so weird if we were back in Perth and just continuing to eat out every single day and to just not train at all. That would definitely feel very weird.
And that brings me back to the ability to jump back on track. This is a skill you develop. The more times you fail, the more times you get back up and get back inside the gym after you've fallen sick, you've gotten an injury, or you went on holiday, or whatever it is, right? The ability to jump back on track is a skill you need to develop. It's a skill and ability that is going to yield better results in the future, because you have to be real. You're not going to be perfect for 12 weeks. And you might be. A lot of people might be. But there's going to be so many weeks after that you might not be. 52 weeks of the year. You think you can be perfect for 52 weeks of the year? Most likely not. And for the 95% of the majority of people, you're not going to be able to. So understand this, that you're going to fail. And we shouldn't call it fail, but we'll call detours. You're going to have a lot of detours. But for you to have the ability to re-guide yourself back on track is going to be important. It's going to be the key factor in making sure that you continuously get results. Exactly as you said, we went on holiday for 2 weeks, didn't train for 2 weeks. We still ate our protein. We still were more active. We're knowledgeable in what we're doing. And we were able to come back not 5 kilos up. We were able to come back the same weight, if anything lighter. And we might have lost a little bit of muscle, but that's fine. We'll just jump back on track and start training. We know that muscle is going to come back. And so this is where you have to view these challenges, that you use the motivation when it's high. Use the motivation when it's high right now to build new habits and behaviors, because it's going to suck. You're going to have to be motivated to get yourself outside your comfort zone. So then once you have developed these new habits and behaviors, you're going to be able to sustain this for the longest time. Educate yourself during this time. And practice by actually trialing and erroring and actually doing the work that needs to be done.
I think it's also important to genuinely try to find a way to make yourself enjoy this, and find a way that this can very comfortably embed into your normal life. And this is where our coaching kind of comes in. We will not push you to do something that is unrealistic for you to sustain beyond these 12 weeks. We only want you to do what can be fitted into your regular life, so that after this challenge, you can continue with these things. We don't want to make it so unrealistic that it's just like on a comp prep level and expect you to keep that up for the rest of the year. Like, we're not going to be Delulu like that. We know it's not going to be easy. So, this is where the one-on-one coaching comes in. We really take into consideration your lifestyle, what you're able to do, your commitments, things like that. And we can find a way to make this fit into your lifestyle, help you enjoy it the best you can, whether it be, teaching you how to cook your foods better, or find a way to help you just enjoy eating clean. Because I genuinely, as much as I love eating out and I love eating just food in general, I also genuinely really love eating just the types of food I cook on a regular day-to-day basis, even though it's repetitive, even though I eat the same thing all the time. But I found something that works for me. And I think that is the key to longevity. This is the key to being able to sustain the results that you achieve, is actually enjoying parts of what you do. Obviously, there's some parts that are going to be hard and uncomfortable. Yes, sometimes, I may be hungry and I may have cravings, and sometimes I'll just have to obviously say no to them. It's not always going to be easy, but it shouldn't feel like it's too hard at the same time. And this is where working really closely one-on-one with a coach to find something that can be realistic for you is really going to make a difference.
And that also does touch on the topic of self-control, self-discipline, and self-awareness. These are the sort of things that you develop as you get better at understanding what you should be doing, or like understanding what health and fitness truly is. And, you know, it's about going out to eat, but not overeat. You know, this hunger cues of knowing when to stop eating, or am I dehydrated? Have I slept enough? Or am I eating enough protein? Have I kept my activity levels higher? These are the sort of things that you develop as you keep practicing what you're doing. And, you know, I think it's super important that people do forget that self-control, self-discipline, self-awareness. As you develop these skills, you become more aware of things, and you understand how to navigate through busy times, navigate through, you know, all the stuff that may put you on a detour and get you back on track or stay on track.
Yeah, being aware really is key, especially for those times where you know you're not going to be on track. So like, again, back to us, even when we were on holiday, and we tried to, you know, switch off everything. We're not weighing ourselves, not weighing our food, blah, blah, blah. But just having that self-awareness when we make certain decisions when it comes to ordering food, portion sizes, how active we are going to be as compared to how much food we're consuming that day, that all becomes second nature eventually, as long as you stick to this for long enough for you to kind of get that self-awareness and just to know when you're full, to know when your body needs more food because it has been more active that day. All these are skills that you will learn, and then this will help you even on the times where you're not at home, not on track, or you're maybe, again, when you're on holiday or you're just eating out, to be able to pay attention to your body cues is something huge that you can really take away a lot from.
I like to say that, you know, you may feel overwhelmed with starting the 12-week challenge, but understand that we as coaches are here to guide you there. Understand that we are here to push you outside that comfort zone. But, you know, depending on what level you're at, obviously if you're someone that's done challenges before, you know kind of what you're doing already. You already have a set training plan. You've got everything kind of embedded into your lifestyle already. It's just fine tuning what you're doing, right? So it's going to be like, we're just going to improve things a little bit better. But obviously if you're a beginner or intermediate, you're going to find it, we're going to just push it a little bit harder. You know, we're going to make sure the training's targeting the right muscle groups, tracking that sort of stuff. We're going to fine tune things a little bit better. Understand that we have levels at which we do this, and we're only just going to push you that little bit harder each time. It's not going to be like if someone's at level 3 at a high level compared to someone who's at level 1 as a beginner. We're not going to push you at that level 3 level. We're going to be like, okay, let's focus on the fundamentals and get some healthier eating habits in first before we start to revamp things. Obviously, someone who's at level 3 probably knows how to count macros already, knows how to eat. We just be like, here's the macros, stick to these macros, spread out your protein, your carbs, very basic stuff. But obviously, a beginner might have to be on a food plan. So based on what level you're at, we push you that little bit harder so it's not too overwhelming. And then that way, we try to help you embed new habits and behaviors into your lifestyle.
I strongly believe in what gets measured gets results. So there may be a lot of people out there who are already, you know, they're eating healthy, they're somewhat training, but, you know, they're not tracking their training. They don't know, you know, how many sets they did last week. They don't know what weight they did. They're just kind of going to the gym and they're doing stuff. So maybe you're already training 5 days a week. Like you train, you know, but you're not actually tracking your training. You're not actually progressing your training. There's no progressive overload. You're just going in and doing what you feel like. This is where, again, doing the challenge and hiring one of us as your coaches can really help take you to the next level, because what gets measured gets results. And most people are honestly lazy to measure, lazy to track and things like that. But we obviously make it easy with the app, and obviously we make it compulsory as coaches for you to track these things for us. So it gives you that extra bit of motivation to do so. Again, another thing that is important to track is maybe things like steps, like maybe things like, you know, thinking about how much you have slept, or, you know, obviously tracking your food, all these kind of things that people, you know, I eat healthy, but like how many calories are you eating that day? They have no idea, you know? So again, what gets measured gets results. And this is why, you know, this is our job. This is the main thing we do. We do all these complicating calculations for you. We help hold you accountable. We give you an app to input all that information in there. We give you a reason to take progress photos, because even myself, since I've stopped coaching with Jeremy, I haven't bothered to take a check-in photo. So these are the things that, you know, obviously, even as someone who knows exactly what you're doing, you need to measure exactly what you're doing in order to take everything to the next level. And having a coach will really help push you to be motivated to actually track these things.
Very good, very good. And I think one question that got brought up to me today, Actually, it was a very good question indeed. It's a question that I wish people asked me more. When I do phone consults and stuff, I'm always like, these are the sort of questions I look for. And the question she actually brought up to me, so she's a new client, and she actually mentioned, she was like, what results should I expect after this 12 weeks? And so I will start things off because I'm probably throwing Nicole straight into it. She's like, oh, wait, what? And so how I answered this question was, I enjoyed this question. I was like, man, if only people ask me these sort of questions, then like, expectations is not just physical. That's one thing I want to start things off. Yes, we are here to get you results. We are here to help you lose the weight you want to lose realistically in the time frame that we have. But at the same time, what do we actually get out of this 12 weeks? And what you get out of this is not just the physical results. It's the mental. It's the education that you're going to learn what you need to do for your physique, for your goals that you have to achieve. You're also going to create new habits and behaviors that are very different to what you're doing. And as I mentioned already, you're going to build new self-awareness, new self-discipline, new self-control in scenarios where you do slip up, because you're going to slip up and it's totally fine if you do. You're going to go on detours and it's fine if you do, because the ability to jump back on track, the ability to understand hunger cues, the ability to make the right choices, these are all the sort of things that you're going to gain from this 12 weeks. And yes, you might only lose 5 kilos instead of the 10 kilos. So what? What you have achieved is now you've shown yourself that you can stick to something. You've shown yourself you're able to jump back on track. You've shown yourself you can navigate through Australia Day and all the events that might come in for the Asians out there, Chinese New Year. You're going to be able to navigate all these. In Valentine's Day, for example, it's on February, so it's going to hit the 12-week challenge. So there you go. There's a lot of things that are going to come up your way no matter what. What are you going to do? Say no to these events? No, that's not what we want. We want you to, if you want to have dinner with your loved one on Valentine's Day, go ahead. We're not going to stop you. If you want to celebrate Chinese New Year because you want to celebrate with family, we're going to be like, enjoy yourself, but control yourself, And so, as you can see, in this 12 weeks, you don't just get physical goals, but you get so many other worlds of positives that is going to lead to better results in the future. It's about how you view it. If you only view 12 weeks, super hard, I'm going to win this challenge, I don't give a shit how much weight I have to lose, I'll just deal with the hunger, the lack of sleep, the, food focusness, you're not going to last very long. And so if you view it in a different light, then you're going to achieve results that you never thought you could achieve. And like I said, it's not just physical.
Yeah, so I think the main thing we want people to take away from the challenge is, like I said, building those habits and behaviors, as you like to say. And for me, it's more about like showing people that this can be enjoyable. It can be fun. There will be moments where, obviously it's going to be hard, but the way you feel the next day when you see yourself achieve those results and make those progress, when you get stronger at the gym, when you lose those couple of centimeters, that feeling is like no other. And then it all compounds one day at a time, 1 week at a time, to make you kind of like fall in love with the process, fall in love with the hard work, fall in love with the discomfort and how hard it is. I want people to love that it's hard. If it was easy, honestly, it's not going to be fun. Anything that's worth having is worth working for. And then at the end of the day, you're going to get a physique that you are so proud of, no matter what the weight difference is, the centimeter difference is. It's just, that body has, gone through so many mental battles, and you've like stuck to a plan. You've woke up every morning and you did your cardio, you went to the gym. Just that sense of fulfillment can really set you up for an amazing year to come, not just in fitness, but just in any aspect of your life. Just that you knew that you got through these 12 weeks and you achieved whatever you could in these 12 weeks. You tried your hardest, you really challenged yourself and really pushed yourself out of your comfort zone. You can do anything else that comes your way that year, and any other problems or hurdles that will kind of give you that inner self-confidence to be able to, push through any hardships that may come your way this year.
Great. That was very good. I was super happy with this. I think I really wanted to talk about this. I feel like we have never talked about the 12-week challenges, and I think a lot of people shun it. But I think now people are starting to realize that these 12 week or the 8 weeks or 6 weeks or whatever challenges are out there, it's a great way as a motivational starter to get people motivated when it's high, to kind of get started on their journey. And the amount of times that we have we have a lot of sign-ups, and then a lot of them may pull out in the end because they aren't prepared mentally for what they have in front of them. And so hopefully with this episode, we have kind of outlined the qualities that you need for this challenge to succeed and how you should be viewing it. And obviously the pitfalls of if you don't view it the right way, and obviously the way you look at it is going to determine how well you're going to go. So thank you. I think this is a great podcast. Was there anything else you'd like to add?
No, just that our challenge starts on the 15th of Jan. So get signed up now.
Sweet. So if you are listening to this right now and you are more interested in the 12-week challenge and you want to sign up to ours, or you just want to have a chat with us about your goals, there's no obligation, there's no charge to talk to us. Send us a message. Hit us up in the DMs. If not, register your interest. We'll jump on a free phone consult, discuss your goals, see if we have the right package that suits you, and then we can outline a plan on how you're going to achieve these goals and what we need to do. And once again, if you are listening to this, always ask for what you should expect in the 12 weeks. I think it's a great question that I loved, and the first time I ever heard someone ask me that. It's as weird as it sounds, but it's a great way for me to kind of review it and be like, you know what, this is a great way to improve someone's expectations that is not just physical, but mental. So become physically and mentally stronger and truly reach your potential. So guys, if you enjoyed this podcast, please share it with your friends and family. And if you are interested in our 12-week challenge, make sure to send us a message, myself, Nicole, or even the other coaches. And I'm sure we can give you an answer. We can ask you more questions. We can dig deeper on how we can achieve these goals to help you reach your potential this year, 2024. It's already here. It's going to fly by. Don't waste any more time. Stop sitting on the fence. Stop sitting on your hands. Stop thinking about what if, because one thing to always remember is that you don't want to be sitting in your deathbed regretting that you never tried. And that's one thing I have always done in my life, business, life, relationships, in front of Nicole. Everything I do is, will I regret anything? And that's one thing that you have to look at with this 12-week challenge. If you don't start now and you start in the next 6 months and you achieve results in the latter half of this year and look back, you know what, I should have started at the beginning of the year. If that's something you're going to regret, why not just give it a shot? Shoot your shot. Because the only time you ever fail is when you don't take any shot at all. You don't even bother trying. You don't even bother giving it a go. Because when you don't give it a go or give it a chance, you automatically fail. As simple as it gets. There's no winning because you've just lost. You just didn't try. You didn't give it a shot. So shoot your shot, give it a go, and sign up to our 12-week challenge. It'd be crazy not to. So guys, if you enjoyed this podcast, we'll see you guys in the next ones. And once again, send us a DM if you do have any more questions.